Hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to Smrt Live Class Wednesday. I am your teacher this morning, Mark Roberts. Welcome. Welcome to all the wonderful students around the world who come to our class every week. We really appreciate it. I am going to start class. Now today we're going to talk about prepositions. We're going to talk about prepositions. Sorry guys, let me fix my mic. Okay, hopefully that sounds better. Thank you, Julian. Today we're going to talk about prepositions. A lot of people on our Facebook group ask me, okay, Mark, please talk about prepositions. So I will talk about that today for sure. But first, you guys, I just had a baby. And I'm super busy. And I told everybody on the Facebook group that I would make a video to explain this quiz. A lot of people got this wrong on the Facebook group. So I'm going to start class and explain the answer. Let's look at this sentence. Cell phones, something not to be used in this class. Now, a lot of people chose can or must or have. But guys, look right here we have to. Now we never use modal verbs with to. What's a modal verb? Well, if you haven't studied English, a modal verb is like can or could or will or must or may or might or should, would. Gosh, what am I maybe forgetting some? Don't use these with to, okay? Don't use to with these words. We have one modal verb and we use to, ought to. What does ought to mean? It means should. Okay, so you should go, same thing, you ought to go. You ought to go, okay. Hey guys, everybody on Facebook, how are you doing? Please join the YouTube stream and you can chat with me there. Zach is there today and maybe you'll see Sean. Hey Selma, hey Marcos, Antoana, hey, how you doing? V for Vendetta, awesome movie, awesome comic. Somebody in the YouTube stream, his name is, or her name is V for Vendetta. Guys, if you are looking for cool movies, check out this movie. It's also a graphic novel. It's really good. I really recommend it. So yeah, cool name. It's a good idea. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Modal verbs. Do not use to. Okay? So that's A is not correct. C is not correct because they are modals. So what about are and have? Okay. Well, have is not correct. Okay, have is not correct. Let me quickly talk about this. Must not. So example, cell phones must not be used. Cell phones, this is fine. Google sometimes makes mistakes. Cell phones must not be used. This means very similar, cell phones cannot be used, right? They cannot be used. Very, very similar. Have not, no. It's not the same meaning, okay? We can talk about that later. You can ask me about that on the Facebook group. Guys, I wanted to, with this quiz, I wanted to teach you about is not to or are not to. And this is a very formal way to talk about prohibitions. I'm going to raise this. Prohibitions means not allowed to or can't do it or mustn't do it, okay? Prohibitions. It's very popular to say, well, popular, but it's very, yeah, it is popular English. You are not to. You are not. And we emphasize not. You are not. You are not to do that again. You are not to do that again. So you see, it's a little strange. We say be, not, to, and a verb, okay? You are not to do that again. So the answer, let's go back up here. The answer is are. Cell phones are not to, and we need passive because we're talking about people's actions, right? Hey David, we appreciate you coming back. Welcome. I think maybe this is your first time watching my stream. Guys, if you're still watching on Facebook, come on over to the YouTube stream, please, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, Narut, how are you doing? Welcome back. How's Thailand today? So, anyways, it's very popular. Let's look at a no smoking sign. Let's look at a no smoking sign. So if you wanted to explain this rule, guys, in the YouTube chat or in the Facebook chat, but you can't really see what I'm talking about, right? In the YouTube chat, think about what I talked about here. Hey Marie, how are you? Think about how we use this grammar. How could you explain this meaning, right? So try to show me that you understand the meaning in the YouTube chat. Okay. Cigarettes, yeah. Khalid, how are you? Talk to you on the Facebook group. Excellent, good job. Just the spelling of cigarettes, and it's a little bit difficult spelling, right? Yes, Paul, so that's a little bit different form, right? A little bit different structure. Valerie, we love you, Mark. Valerie, who do you love? Do you love Mark or do you love Sean or do you love both? I'm joking, Valerie. Okay. Yes, Selma, excellent. Good job. Yes. Person from Korea, use the YouTube chat, okay? So, you are not, somebody with an Arabic name, I can't read it, but you are not to smoke here, right? You are not to smoke here. Now, Khalid used the passive, right? Cigarettes are not to. Now, we need passive, right? Because we are talking about smoke, and smoke is a person's action. But in this sentence, we haven't said person. So Cigarettes are not to. Remember, passive, we always need two things. We need be and a past participle. So cigarettes are not to be smoked here. So Khalid, excellent job. Pascoa, the meaning is the same. The meaning of what? Sorry. The meaning of what? So what does this mean? Maybe Pascoa wants to know, what is the meaning? You are not to smoke here. Cigarettes are not to be smoked here. What does this mean? Well, you cannot, easy English, right? You cannot smoke here. You must not smoke here. Okay. You, like Paul said, you are not allowed to smoke here. Paul had a great week. His favorite soccer team won the Premier League. Congratulations, Paul. Hey, Mahmoud. Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. So, guys, that's the answer to this quiz question. So let's move on. Let's talk about prepositions. Yeah, prepositions. A very prepositions is a. I'm sorry, it is a confusing part of English. It really is. It gives my students headaches. It gives my students headaches. We have a lot of stupid rules, right? Yeah. So let's talk about prepositions. We have in English prepositions of place, and we have prepositions of time. Right? So where is Mark? Mark is in Canada. Is this place or time meaning? Well, of course, Canada is a place, right? So this is a preposition of place, right? But Selma, when were you born? Which year? Oh, maybe I shouldn't ask you your year because you are a woman. What about which month, Selma? Which month? Which month were you born? Selma, please type the answer, type the answer, type the answer. Hey Motoki, how are you? Shingo, how are you? Oh, Selma has said the year. So in 1991. Zach was born in 1978. Yeah. So yeah, okay, thank you, Selma. In December, oh, me too. So you can see this is a preposition of time, right? So sometimes a preposition has a time meaning and a place meaning, okay? So let's first talk about prepositions of place. And I made this lesson yesterday. So let's look at this sentence. We first met each other at the bus stop. Can you guys see that? If you're watching on a cell phone, turn on HD if you're in a Wi-Fi zone, and you can see this much more clearly. We first met each other at the bus stop on Georgia Street. Okay, so we say at a bus stop, but we say on the street, right? At and on. So why? Well, I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you the rules. So let's start. Okay, let's start with in first of all. Now, if you guys want to check your understanding, or maybe you want to try an example, please type in the chat, right? So in, well, we could say things like in a room, in a city, right? In a city. So right now I am in Vancouver, Canada, right? In a car, yeah, in a taxi, okay? Okay, so guys, right now we're talking about prepositions of place. Place. So let's not talk about the time. Let's not talk about the time meaning of in. Okay? So here we have I know, I miss everything in Vancouver, in a city, right? I know, where are you? Which city? Which city? It's okay. What's your name? The person from Korea. I can't read Hangul, right? So Nima, that's a time meaning. That's a time meaning of in, right? We're not talking about that now. So in a car, in a taxi, in Australia. Yeah. So you guys on the YouTube chat, you're talking about Zach. Zach was in China last week. So which countries were you born in? Or which countries do you live in? Please tell me in the chat. I live in Canada, right? Selma is in Algeria, and her city is Batna, Algeria, right? So guys, tell me in the chat, which city, which country? Use in. Okay, Esab, that's a time meaning. That's a time meaning. Okay, Alex, I'm in my classroom. Nagma, I live in the UK. Don't say UK, you have to say the UK. Marcos, I live in Brazil. Cool. I want to go to Brazil. I live in Japan. Ayano, yes. I live in Egypt. Khalid, don't forget capital letters, but maybe it's too difficult on a chat. Oh, France. I live in France. What a beautiful pronunciation. I live in Mexico. Kazakhstan. Wow. Turkey. Wow. Okay. Ecuador. All right, cool. All right. Let's continue. In a box. In a box. Yeah, okay. In the sky. We say in the sky. In the world and in the ocean or in the river or in the lake. Okay? We also say in the middle of. So, example, in the middle. Motoki, I live in Tokyo. Hey, Motoki. I live in Algeria. Guys, on the Facebook chat, I'm going to say this again. I mean, I'm not angry or anything, but you guys don't know. But join the YouTube class. It's much better. You can see what I'm talking about. Imani, how are you? Right? All over the world here. Yeah. Valerie was born in Peru. She lives in Lima. But I love Canada because of Mar. Okay. Thank you, Valerie. Did I say congratulations? I saw that you graduated. That's awesome. Congratulations. Risvana, I was born. I was, because it's passive. It's your mother's action. I was born. I live in Kuwait. Good. Yeah, Hamad. Yeah. I live in Bulgaria. Awesome. Guys, good example. Good examples. In the middle of. So last night I woke up at 3 a.m. Actually, I should use capitals. 3 a.m. You can write a.m. like with capitals, or with periods like this. Okay, this is you shouldn't use lowercase or like that. You shouldn't do that. It's not correct English, but many English people don't know that. Okay, I woke up. Good, Rada. I live in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia. Kazuho, hey Kazuho, how are you doing? Okay, so last night I woke up at 3 a.m. What could you say? When did Mark wake up? When did Mark wake up? Mark woke up in the middle of what? In the middle of what? What, guys? What? Tell me. In the middle of Mark woke up in the middle of what? Yes, thank you. Nagma, yes, thank you very much. You saved me. Selma, yes, good. In the middle of the night. Okay, good job. Mark woke up in the middle of a deep sleep. Thank you, Pascoa. In the middle of the, no, Andre, we think 3 a.m. is still the night. It's still the night, okay? We say in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. isn't there a song called In the Middle of the Night or something? Or In the Middle of, like a Billy Joel song, Zach? Anyways, or David if you're still there. Okay, let's talk about at. Now remember, we're still just talking about place. Place. Okay, we're not talking about time. Okay, so at, we say at a bus stop, like in the example I gave you. At the table. So right now Mark is sitting at the table. Okay, Mark is sitting at a desk. Okay, at an intersection. At an intersection. Some students maybe don't understand intersection. So here is an intersection. So I am at the intersection, for example. So maybe Mark is here. So Mark is at the intersection, right? Where is Radio Shack? Well, Radio Shack is at the intersection. Okay? What else do you see here? Well, do you see the traffic lights? The traffic lights? Well, we could say at the traffic lights. At the traffic lights. At the door. What does that mean, at the door? At the door. Well, let's just type that into Google Images here. Whoa. I don't know why, but okay. So this person knocks on the door, right? And you know, I don't know who this person, maybe he is a salesman, right? A salesman. And his name is, I don't know, John. So we could say right now, John is at the door. At the door. Next to door is kind of strange. Leonardo, 1 second, we will talk about that, okay? But he is at the door. At the door, okay? What about at the window? Let's look at a picture of a cat at the window. What does that mean, at the window? Right, see this one? The cat is at the window. At the window, okay? Let's continue. At the stop sign. So if you are at an intersection and you are waiting in your car here, right now you are at the stop sign. Okay, Pascoa, we're going to talk about that now, okay? Good question. Before I talk about that, we also say at the top and at the bottom. Okay, at the top and at the bottom. Okay, so if I show you a skyscraper, this is called a skyscraper. Okay, and it's a very big picture. Okay, so do you see this building here? It's under construction, right? Victoria, join on Facebook, join on YouTube, and you can chat and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so maybe Erdogan is working here. He's working at the top. He's working at the top. And Mark is working down here. So Mark is working at the bottom of the building. Okay, I'm not sure how to say your name, but Alesker, he or she said, why not on the window? Well, on the window would be, let's see if we can find a picture. Let's say sticker on window. Let's see. Okay. This is the meaning of on the window. Can you see that okay? You see somebody put a sign on a window. On a window. But remember, cat at window, this is different, right? This is a little different. So do you understand that? At the bottom of the building, yeah. I fly at the top of the city. Okay, Elesker or Elsger. Sorry, I don't know your name. Okay, let's continue. We're going to talk about the difference at and in very soon. At the front, at the back. Okay, so example, let's sit at the front of the bus. Let's sit at the front of the bus. No, I want to sit at the back. of the bus. Okay? At the front, at the back. Okay? Finally, we say at with an address. With an address. Okay? At with an address. So if you give your address, guys, don't type your address. Don't type your address in the chat. But here are some example addresses, right? Okay, 329 Georgia Street, 2190 Scott Road, Vancouver, BC. Okay, so we say I live at, right, and your address. I don't know, what's an example? East. I don't know how you guys write addresses in your countries. They're different around the world, right? I live at 304 East 3rd Avenue. That's my address. Okay, somebody had a really good question. Nima, it's not really a question, but Nima wrote, at the front of the TV. And I just said at the front and at the back. But this is not correct, because this is a different meaning, Nima. So let me show you here. So I have sunglasses, and I have a water bottle. Okay, if I put the sunglasses here, Nima, well, actually, let's just use the water bottle. Can you see my face? Can you see my face right now? Why can't you see my face? Right? Please tell me in the chat. Why can't you see my face? Right? Is it because the bottle is at the front or in front? Which one? Which one? Selma, can you see my face? Okay, Nagma or somebody. You can't see my face because the bottle is in front of Mark's face. In front. In front. Okay, now when do we say at the front? Well, what about class presentation? Let's look at a picture of that. Okay, so a class presentation. Where is a good? Here. Okay. Right, guys. No, Thushara, not at front, in front. Okay, in front. Now I said, well, we use at the front, at the front, at the front. Okay, look at this picture, right? Look at this picture. Now here we have a classroom, right? And where is George? George is at the front of the classroom. He is at the front of the classroom. So here is George. Let's put this in the notes, okay? Let's put this in the notes. Okay, so George is at the front of the room. George is at the front of the room. This is George, okay? But here is Jorge Alberto, my old student. Okay, here is Jorge, all right? Now, Jorge is also at the front, or he's near the front, right? He's near the front of the room, right? But here is George, and here is Jorge. George is in front of Jorge. George is in front of Jorge. Okay? Understand? It's a little different. George is in front of, yeah, close to the front, Nagma. Thank you. Yeah, at the front of the screen. No, not at the front. He's at the front of the room, but he's in front of the screen. Okay, a little bit different. And here is Peter. Where is Peter? Where is Peter? Right? Well, Peter is not at the front. He is at the back. He is at the back. So Peter is at the back of the room. right? So we have in front of, and then we have at the front of. And the opposite of at the front is the back. What's the opposite of in front of, right? Not in the back, Nagma, at the back. At the back. Yeah, Peter is at the back. You're right, Paul. Yeah. Okay. It's okay, Nagma. Keep trying. Keep trying. Right? What's the opposite of in front? Okay. So here's Peter, and here is Jenny. Jenny is in front of Peter. And Peter is Jenny. What can we say? Yes, Salma. Good job. Right? The opposite of in front of is behind. Okay, so even if you are a high-level student, I know Selma and Marianne, you guys are all like, your English is really, really good, but even things like this are confusing for high-level students, right, Selma? Or Hyojin. So let's continue. Now, let's talk about the difference between in or at. Now, this is not if you are a high level student, my classes are usually for lower level students, and Sean's classes are for higher level students. If you are a low level student, it's okay to think that in and at are the same. It's okay to think that they are the same for the following. Like if you're talking about these things, the station, the airport, right? So I met you in the airport, I met you at the airport. Both are okay if you are a lower level student. Understand? Because some people, they think, okay, sometimes we say in the airport, sometimes we say at the airport. That's okay. Both are okay. And I will explain the difference. Just wait. At my house. So I ate dinner at my house. I ate dinner in my house. Both are okay. Okay. Let's go get coffee. Let's get coffee at the coffee shop or at Starbucks. Or let's go get coffee in the coffee shop, in Starbucks. At the hotel, in the hotel, at the store, in the store, at the school. Right now I am at the school. Right now I am in the school. At the restaurant and in the restaurant. Okay, so Urdoyan and Nagma and well, that's it. You guys want to know, well, what's the difference? Well, at is general. Is general. Okay? So we say at if we don't care so much about the details. So example, I bought coffee. You guys know Starbucks, right? I bought coffee, Starbucks. Okay, so what's the missing preposition here? Well, it's not necessary. It's not necessary to say in. Because of course you entered Starbucks, you opened the door, you entered, and you're in Starbucks, right? Of course you bought your coffee in the Starbucks or inside the Starbucks. That information is not really necessary. So we say at Starbucks, okay? I bought coffee at Starbucks. This is more popular, right? Now, let's meet today, 3 o'clock. Let's meet, right? Let's meet. Okay. So, where? Well, Starbucks. Let's meet Starbucks. Where? Where? Let's meet at Starbucks. Okay, but where? Give me details. Like where Starbucks? Where? In Starbucks? Right? Or in front of Starbucks? Right? Or outside of Starbucks? Where? Please give me more details. More details. Okay, so now maybe we would say, let's meet in Starbucks. And we can also say, let's meet inside Starbucks. Understand? So you see, now here in or inside is important because I want details. Does that make sense, guys? Tell me in the chat if that makes sense. Again, Facebook people, come to YouTube, right? So I bought coffee at Starbucks. I bought coffee at Starbucks. Okay, I bought coffee at Starbucks. All right. Yes, it makes sense. Cool. All right, let's give you another example. Right now, my wife, her name is Kazuko. And Kazuko, just an example, Kazuko calls me and asks, hey, Mark, where are you? Right? Where are you? Right? Do I say I'm at school? School, I say school, it's like my work. Or I'm in school. Which one? Not a question, sorry. I'm at school or I'm in school. Which one should we say? If I say school, do you think my wife understands like where? And, like do you think if I say school, do you think she understands I am in the school? Do you think she understands that? Yeah, of course she understands that because I work here. This is my job. So I just say, hey, Kazuko, I'm at school. I'm at school. Yes, Amel on the Facebook. Yes, you're right. I'm at school. Now, if my wife, well, stop saying my wife. If Kazuko comes here to meet me and she can't find me, right? Well, then maybe she will text me and she will say again, hey, where are you? Right? Well, now Kazuko is at the school, but she's trying to find me, right? Are you, Mark, are you in the school? Are you in the school? Right? Are you in the school? Are you outside the school? Right? Where are you? Please give me details. Details. Okay, details. So maybe I am in my classroom, right? Or maybe I am just in the school. I am inside. Do you guys understand that? So usually we say at, okay, is just general location. Okay, but in is more details. Yes, Nadia, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Selma, I am in my office, but I am at work. I am at work. Right? Where work? Where? Like work is a big place. Oh, more details. I'm in my office. Right? Where in your office? Where? Well, now remember, guys, remember we say at a table or at my desk. Okay? So Selma is at work. She is in her office and she is at her desk. Is that okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes, Saverio, very good. Very good. Okay. And David is, okay, so here's an example. We'll use David as an example. David is a teacher at Ohio State University. Okay, But Ohio State University is probably a really big place, right? So David, where, could you be more specific? Where are you at the university? Which building? Which building? Usually a Canadian or an American university. I don't know about other countries. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. But usually a university has many buildings, and usually the buildings have names. Okay, so yeah, so David is at Ohio State University, but he is in Enerson Hall. Thank you, David. So that's a perfect example. Okay, more specific. Okay, Marcos, can we say I'm at school yet? Okay, so you don't understand yet. You're making a mistake. Yet is usually only with negatives or questions. Marcos wants to know. Okay, so Marcos, do you mean high school? High school. Okay, so Marcos's question is, it's a good question. Let's talk about this. In. Now, sometimes we say in plus the place name, and this actually has a meaning of an action. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in school means you are studying. Not in the school. We're not really talking about the place. We're talking about the action. What is the person doing? What is the person doing? So what is this? What is this called? What is this action? What is this action called? Can anybody, if you're talking to God and you're doing this, in Islam you go down, right? It's a little bit different. But what is this action called? Anybody? Yes, okay, we have the action. It's called pray, right? Yes, pray. Right, Alex, you're right. So what's another way to say you are praying at church? What's another way to say you are praying at church? Well, you just say you're in church. You're in church. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, now if I want to say, oh, somebody is sick and they are getting help from doctors at a hospital, you would say just in hospital. And finally, I think Marcos' meaning is in university. What does that mean in university? Well, that means you are studying at a university. Okay, so this is confusing, but okay, let's review. Okay, because you guys are going to get confused. So we talked about with David. David is a teacher at a university. He is a teacher at Ohio State University, right? Which building? He is teaching in Enerson Hall. It's more specific, right? Where Enerson Hall? Well, probably he is teaching in a classroom, right? Okay. Now, David, can you give me a name of one of your favorite students? Can you give me a name of one of your favorite students? Or your least favorite student, it doesn't matter. Or or just a student. Anybody is okay. Can you give me a name of a student? And boy, guys, it's already 45 minutes into the class, and I haven't talked about time. I haven't talked about prepositions of time, so maybe we will have to do prepositions of time next week. Okay, thank you, David. So David's favorite or least favorite, I don't know which, is Khalifa. Okay, Khalifa. All right, it's a cool name, Khalifa. They are all my favorites, yeah. I understand. Okay, so what what can Khalifa's mother or father say to mean, oh, Khalifa is studying at university? What can they say to mean this? Okay, let's stop talking about church and praying. Mohammed, let's stop talking about that, okay? So what can Khalifa's mother or father say to mean, oh, Khalifa is studying at university, right? What can they say for this meaning, right? What can they say for this meaning? Anybody have any yes, Salma, thank you, always Salma. Khalifa is in university. Okay, don't say a university, don't say the university. We just say in and university. Yeah, and you don't need study. I mean, yeah, Paul, that's fine studying, but he is copying. Okay. Yes, Korean person studying in university. You don't need studying. Just say Khalifa is in university, and that means Khalifa is studying at a university. Okay? So I think Marcos asked me to talk about this. Well, he asked me to talk about this through an example. So I am not in university. Okay, that means I don't study at a university. So that's Marcos's meaning. I am not in university. Now you wanted to say yet. So I know, Marcos, I think you're from Brazil. Yet and still and already are pretty confusing for Spanish and Portuguese speakers. I know. Also French. But usually we say not yet. Okay, and still means it continues now too. Okay, Marcos? So, I am still in high school. I am still in high school. I am not in university yet. Does that understand that, Marcos? Or have you disappeared? I think he's disappeared. So, Valerie, not at university. At university is talking about the place. In university is talking about, it means study. You're focusing on the action. Okay? So one more time, David is at the I don't think we need the Ohio State University. David is at Ohio State University. But Khalifa is in university. Okay? Marcos, he's got it. Do you guys understand the difference here? What does this mean? What does this mean about Khalifa? Right? A good person is one of, okay. Acts and tongue people are in peace. Yeah, Mohammed, I don't know what you're talking about. Tongue people are in peace. I don't know what that means. So this is David's place, Valerie. Okay. This is David's place. This is Khalifa's action. Okay. At a university, Salma is better. He studies at a university. Okay. I know people are confused. Okay. At is talking about the place. Yes, Rawan. He is still studying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It could be any, right, Marianne, good point. This one means the university, which one, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not focusing on the place. We're focusing on Khalifa's action. I think Khalifa is a girl, right? Maybe, I'm not. Okay. Rosa wants to talk about on. Yeah, Rosa, me too. I want to talk about on too. Erdogan wants to talk about into, for, off, of, above. Yeah, you know what, Erdogan, I don't think we're going to have enough time today but we can definitely talk about this more next week or the week after. Okay, we try to keep our classes just to 1 hour because I have to go back to work and I have to do my other job, right? So, sounds like a boy's name? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, math. Oh my gosh, no, I don't know anything about math. Well, I like math, but I'm not a math teacher. So, does everybody understand this? Like Marianne said, Marianne, you should be an English teacher one day. Khalifa is in university. That means he's studying. Where is he? Well, he's at a university. Okay? Let's continue. Let's talk about. So we at the top, at the front, at the back, at the bottom, at with an address. Let's go back and just let's review a little bit before we talk about on. In, in the middle, at a bus stop, at a table. Okay, good. At the top, at the front, at with an address. We talked, both of these are okay. If you guys are confused, at or in, don't worry about it. I mean, if you really want to speak perfect English, well, watch this video again. But if you're not, let's go. Our I bought coffee at Starbucks is really good. I bought coffee in Starbucks is okay. Okay. Let's talk about to. Now to, are there any means I can talk to you privately? Well, you can come to Canada and you can talk to me privately in a classroom here. I think you would be a great teacher, Marianne. Also, Mohammed, you can join our Facebook group and you can ask us questions there, like Zach is saying. Nazir, what is the difference between until and till? Nothing. There is no difference. Till is a little bit more casual, right? Until and till. So this is just for time. We're going to talk about time maybe next week. I'm sorry, we don't have time today. But yeah, until, they're the same. Till is very popular in speaking. Until is more popular for writing. Okay. Okay, to. Now, we talked about in or at, and these are only okay for verbs that don't move from one place to another. Okay, this is really like a big mistake, and usually, French students or Spanish students or Portuguese students make this mistake, or all students. I don't know. Maybe you don't make this mistake. I don't know. But in or at is just if the verb is not moving. Okay? So the bottle is in Mark's hand. It's in Mark's hand. What's the verb? Well, the bottle is in Mark's hand. What's the verb? Well, the verb is be. The be is not moving, right? But some verbs, the meaning is it starts here, and then the meaning is that it goes to another place, right? What do I mean? Well, example, go, right? Go. So we said in Starbucks, right? We said at Starbucks. But of course, we also say to Starbucks, right? We also say to Starbucks. Okay, somebody from Russia or Ukraine or Kazakhstan, I can't remember, in home or at home. Well, same thing in Starbucks or at Starbucks, right? Usually, general, we say at home. But where? Are you in the garden? Are you outside? Are you in front of your home? Are you beside your home? So this is more detailed, more details. Okay? But we can also say to home. Actually, we can't say to home. Don't say to home. That's a bad example. Usually we just say go home. Go home. Sorry, bad example, but that was somebody's question. Let's go back to Starbucks. So somebody wrote, Paul, thank you, Paul. I am going to Starbucks. This verb is moving from one place to another. So if it's moving from one place to another, you should use to. Okay? But let's look. I bought this coffee. Buy coffee. Buy coffee. This is not moving from one place to another. Right? So I bought this coffee at Starbucks. Okay? Marianne, where are you? Which country? Where are you? Right? Make a full sentence, Marianne. Make a full sentence. I am countries. Remember, what do we say for countries? Right? What do we say for countries? Whoops, sorry guys. In, right? In. Right? So Marianne, the time when we do a live stream is it's a little, maybe 6 or 7 seconds. Thank you, Marianne. So I am in France, right? My friend Jeremy, he lives in Vancouver, but his girlfriend lives in France. So Jeremy, he saves his money and he flies to France. I can't type. Okay, there we go. He flies to France, usually every month. Okay, so you see, Marianne, where is that? I didn't write that? Oh, okay. But Marianne, I am in France, right? But Jeremy flies to France every month. And Marianne is at Angelina's Cafe. Cool. Cafe should have a... Is Angelina's Cafe the name of the cafe? If so, then you should have a capital C. But you probably know that. Okay. Understand, guys? Let's talk about on. Let's talk about on. Well, here are some more examples. John moved to Canada 5 years ago, right? So now he lives in Canada. So here the verbs are moving. They're moving. And here the verbs are not moving. So Susan and Toby went to a store. Hey Jeremy, yeah, it's you. Yeah. Are you in Canada right now, or are you in France? Where are you right now? Or in China? You went to China last week too. You're a lucky guy. They bought some clothes at the store or in the store. Usually at the store is more common, okay? But let's go to the store. And last one, Steve is going to a restaurant, and right now he is at the restaurant with his girlfriend. He is eating at the restaurant. In traffic is an expression. Well, it's not an expression. Remember we said in school means you're studying, right? And in church means you are praying, right? We could say in university. What does in traffic mean? That means you're waiting, you're driving. Okay? You just say I am in traffic. Sorry, I'm late. Cool. Okay, Marcos, good questions. Good questions, guys. Okay, let's talk about on, and then we will finish. And we'll talk about this more next week. Okay, guys? On. You guys understand on. So usually on is like this, right? The bottle is on my hand. So it's on the table, it's on the floor, it's on the ground. Floor is inside, and ground is outside. Okay. On my head, on my head Okay, well, here's an example. I am going to, can you see that? No? Didn't really work, did it? No, this pen doesn't work. This pen is garbage, okay. All right. But on my head, maybe, I don't know, maybe I cut my head. I have very little hair on my head. Bye, Kaya. It's okay. Thanks for coming. On the wall, on the wall, on the wall, on the second floor. Yeah, surface. You're right, Risvana. On the ceiling up there in the room. On the door. On the door. So remember we talked about at the door. At the door. At the door. Here the lady is at the door, right? But if I have a poster on the door, let's look at this difference. Where's a door? Where's a door? Where's a door? Let's change the search sign on the door. Here we go. So here's a door, and we have a sign on the door. Okay? All right. We also say on with vehicles. 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 This is a very common word that students can't say. Vehicles. So we say on a bicycle, on a bus, on a train, on a motorcycle, on a horse, on a skateboard. But remember, we don't say on a car. We say in a car. Okay, you're always on my mind. Thank you, Nadia. Yeah, so on usually with vehicles. But just be careful because we don't say on a car. We say in a car. I don't know why. Marco's in the sky, in the sky. Now remember, we talked about at. We say at with addresses, like an address, like 329 Georgia Street. But if you just say the street name, no address, just street name, you say on. Okay? I know it's confusing. I'm sorry. English is crazy, but it's not difficult. Come on. We got to remember these things. On Georgia Street, at 329 Georgia Street. On the highway, on Scott Road. Remember that example before? But address, at 2000 Scott Road. Okay, yes, the mall is on Georgia Street, but street should be capital, Zach. See, guys, even you should know this, but even native speakers make mistakes, and maybe they don't know these things. Sometimes Zach, well, usually Zach, his English is really good, but sometimes my brother asks me questions about English, and maybe you know the answer. Okay. The Starbucks is on Main Street. Yeah. David makes mistakes all the time. Yeah. David, don't say that. Don't say that. Teachers don't make mistakes. I mean our friends, our family. Like Zach is not a teacher. Zach works at the school, but he has a different job. But that's okay. So on Wilson. So okay, let's finish talking about on. The last thing, I think you guys, these are pretty easy for you. These ones we talked about behind, right? Paul is a native speaker, but he makes lots of mistakes. Behind, above. Above is like, on is touching, right? But above is up here. Okay, we can say beside. Don't say beside to, but we say next to, and they're 100% the same meaning. By, by means it's really close. It's really close. So usually by, it has similar meaning, beside or next to. Yeah, Paul on a plane, in a plane, on a bus, not in a bus, right? In a car. Usually vehicles we say on, but car, taxi we say in. Okay. Under and below, pretty much the same meaning. Under and below, between, and finally, like we talked about, in front of. Beside, next to, by, all of them are the same. Well, beside and next to are 100% the same. By, you know, if something is here very close to me, you could say it's by Mark. It's by my head. It's by my head. So even in front of, by is okay. By is like near, very near. Okay, it's super common. I have suggest create group in WhatsApp to learn. Yeah, maybe. I don't know anything about WhatsApp, but we'll check it out. Yeah, a lot of students talk about that WhatsApp. What do you mean? What do you mean? What about what? About what? About everything I just talked about? About everything? Do you mean by? You don't by? Yeah, David lives by Starbucks. Thank you, David. By Starbucks means beside Starbucks or very close, very near Starbucks. Very close, very near. By my side. Yeah, good. Oh, somebody asked about in a bus. I thought I talked about that. We don't say. Okay, well, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. In the bus, again, is details, like you're talking about inside the bus. But usually we say on a bus, right? I'm on a bus. So let's get on the bus. Let's get on the bus. Where are you? I'm on the bus. That means I'm riding the bus, right? But I'm sorry, I can't think of a nicer example, but let's talk about this. It's a stupid example. I'm sorry, but do you guys know what a bomb is? A bomb? You know, what happened to Paul in Manchester? Was it Manchester that they found? The police found a fake bomb. They found a fake bomb at a stadium. Get on the bus. Yeah, it's correct, Erdoyan. My brother is sitting by me. Yeah, it's perfect, Erdoyan. It's perfect. Yeah, a bomb. So let's try to find a picture. We're almost finished. We're going to finish very soon. I lost my microphone. I lost my microphone. I'm on the bus. There. Sorry, that was probably really loud. But a bomb. Okay. So example this thing. I don't know if Paul is still here, but he knows a lot about soccer. I have a cottage by the river. Yes, it's perfect. C-bus, Daniel. Wow. Do you live in Vancouver? But you know, sometimes crazy people, they put a bomb on a bus, right? And maybe they put the bomb under the bus, or I don't know, usually it's just under the bus, or maybe it's details inside the bus, in the bus. But if you're just saying, you know, usually, where are you? You say, I'm on the bus. I'm on the bus. In, again, is very detailed. Okay? Lived in Vancouver. Cool. Nazir, I'm in the car. Yeah, perfect. Marianne, yes, it was Manchester. Thanks. Thanks, Marianne. So, guys, that is it for today. We have to stop. You're scaring me, Mark? Oh, no. Sorry. Yeah, I know, Selma. It's a bad example, and it's a stupid way to finish class, but what's another example for bus? What's another? We don't usually say in the bus, right? In the bus. What's another reason why we would say in the bus? Where is the bomb? It's under the bus, or where is the bomb? It's in the bus. But don't worry, there are no bombs. There are no bombs on your bus, right? On the bus just means general, right? But details would say in the bus or under the bus. Okay. Oh my gosh, Josue. What about adjectives with prepositions and verbs with prepositions? Yeah. Guys, preposition, we're just getting started. We this is an expression in English, we are just getting started with prepositions. So let's continue talking about this next week, okay? And yeah, Josue, we will talk about that more. So guys, thank you for joining the class today, and we'll see you next week. Remember Sean's class today, 3 o'clock. He's going to talk about participle clauses today, I think, right? That is pretty fun class. I wish I could teach that class, but Sean's doing it today at 3 o'clock. So otherwise, we'll see you in the Facebook group, and until then, keep studying, keep practicing English, and yeah, see you next week. Bye now. finally, I think Marcos is meaning is in university. What does that mean in university? Well, that means you are studying at